Hi, I am David Ezekiel, transitional pastor for the First Federated Church of Peoria. The following story about a Christmas Eve tablecloth is purportedly true and told by Pastor Rob Reed back in the 1970s. It's about a brand new pastor and his wife who was newly assigned to their first ministry to reopen a church in suburban Brooklyn. The church was very run down and needed much work, and they set a goal to have everything done in time to have their first service on Christmas Eve. They worked hard repairing pews, plastering walls, painting, etc., and they were ahead of schedule. But on December 19th, a driving rainstorm hit the area. The resulting water damage caused a huge area of plaster on the front wall of the sanctuary to just fall off. Feeling crestfallen, he was out roaming the neighborhood one day when the pastor stopped in a local thrift shop and found a beautiful handmade ivory-colored crocheted tablecloth with exquisite work, fine colors, and a cross embroidered right in the center. It was just about the right size to cover up the hole in the front wall. He bought it and headed back to the church. And when he put it up, he could hardly believe just how beautiful it looked and how much of the problem area that it covered up. Then he noticed her, a woman who had stopped into the church just to get out of the cold while waiting for the bus. She began walking down the center aisle, and her face was white as a sheet. "Pastor," she said, "where did you get that tablecloth?" And he told her. And the woman asked him to check the lower right corner to see if the initials EBG were crocheted into it there. And they were. These were her initials, she said, and that she had made this tablecloth some 35 years before while living in Austria. She went on to explain that she and her husband had been taken prisoner by the Nazis. She never saw her husband or her home ever again. The pastor wanted to give her the tablecloth, but she insisted the church keep it. And so as a thank you, he drove her home to her residence in Staten Island. Well, Christmas finally arrived, and it was a good service. And at the end, the pastor noticed one older man from the neighborhood just sitting in the pew and just staring straight ahead at the tablecloth. And the old man asked him where he got the tablecloth on the front wall because it was identical to one that his wife had made years ago when they lived in Austria before the war. And so how could there be two tablecloths just so much alike? He told the story about how the Nazis came, how he forced his wife to flee for her safety, and he was supposed to follow her, but he was arrested and put in prison. He said he had never seen his wife or his home again in all the 35 years in between. The pastor asked him if he would allow him to take him for a little drive. And so they rode out to Staten Island, to the same house where the pastor had taken the woman 3 nights earlier. He helped the man climb the 3 flights of stairs to the woman's apartment, and he knocked on the door, and he said he was given the greatest Christmas reunion he could ever imagine. So, who says God does not work in mysterious ways? You know, sometimes miracles are just those moments when God chooses to remain anonymous. I'm David Ezekiel, and I'm wishing that you have the opportunity to participate in a Christmas miracle this year.